New tonight, an Arizona lawmaker facing expulsion now has a one-week deadline to hand over documents that he doesn't want to be made public.
State Representative David Stringer could be expelled over racist comments and the disclosure that he was charged 30 years ago with sex-related offenses. Team 12 political insider Bram Resnick has learned that despite those allegations, Stringer has been cleared to teach inside classrooms full of children.
Bram's live at the Capitol with more. Bram?
Yeah, the House Ethics Committee today taking its first steps to hold David Stringer accountable. We already know Stringer got his Arizona law license despite his record in Maryland from 30 years ago. 12 News has now learned that Stringer passed a background check used for Arizona teachers. State Representative David Stringer has been fighting for his political life for the last year.
Representative Stringer should have been out of the House of Representatives for a long time ago, and hopefully today is the beginning of the end.
Last summer, Stringer came under fire for racist comments about Latinos and African Americans. News reports in January said Stringer was charged with sex offenses 30 years ago. Even though the charges he faced included child pornography, 12 News has learned the 71-year-old Stringer is cleared to teach Arizona school children. According to records obtained by 12 News, Stringer applied for a fingerprint clearance card from the Department of Public Safety in February 2017. He wanted to get Department of Education certification and a teaching job at a charter school. A search of state records and the FBI national database turned up no criminal history for Stringer. According to reports, that criminal record was expunged 30 years ago. So Stringer got his clearance card to teach. It's valid for 4 more years, till 2023. But the Prescott Republican wouldn't be able to use the card in the largest school district in his legislative district. The Humboldt Unified Superintendent banned him from all campuses late last year after Stringer's comments revealed, quote, his blatant racism. And David Stringer has not sought certification as a teacher here in Arizona. It's also unclear whether he has ever taught in an Arizona classroom. Live at the Capitol, Bram Resnick, 12 News.